Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on InRangeTV. We are going to do another dust test today. We're going to do it with Carl's Beretta M92A1.
I don't remember the designations. It's pretty much the most modern iteration. It's got a little rail here, and it does have the G model decocker because I hate slide mounted safeties. But other than that, this is essentially mechanically in every other way the derivative. It is an M9.
Right.
It just has a rail on it. That doesn't change the gun enough to care.
So, question is, will it keep running after we dump a bunch of sand onto it with a leaf blower?
Yeah, that's true. Now, we've heard a lot of people complain about the issue mags. Now, this is a USGI issue type mag.
Okay.
This is a 15-round one. I've got a commercial mech gar in my pocket. I'm going to test fire with the mech gar. But this is what may be one of the culprits, and there's been changes to the magazines or things happening with magazines that were considered sand issues. This is the one we're going to test in the sand. The mech gar we're just going to use for the purposes of proving the gun works.
All right, well, why don't you go ahead and prove that the thing works?
Well, I do. Although, you know what I need to do?
You have your ears in?
No, I don't. So let me do that first.
You want me to hold that?
Yeah. Here, point it at the camera. People love that. Good point. And let's see. There's that one, and you got the good mag. All right, so this is a mech gar mag. We're gonna load it up. It's just 5 rounds, and we're gonna test fire this thing. Call it 10 rounds.
I actually put 10.
All right, I thought it was 5. But 10, we're locked open. This gun works perfectly fine. We did gun scrubber this to make sure it was dry.
We're doing all of these sand tests dry. And we're going to now go ahead and cover it in sand while it is in condition 3. So if you would go ahead and close the slide and then replace the magazine.
And we're going to decock it. So if its gun's got a decock capability, we'll do all these in a decock mode. If it continues to work, maybe we'll try it cocked. But condition 3, magazine inserted, nothing in the chamber, and then we're going to put it down on the ground here, and then we're going to hit it with dust.
All right.
All right, so first thing I'm going to do is pick it up. I'm going to turn it this way so we make sure there's nothing in the barrel.
Yep.
I don't want any sand in the barrel. There is a lot of sand actually in the light here in the gun. Like this locking block is now got a lot of dirt and grit in it.
Focus, camera.
See that?
There we go. Yep.
It's an interesting point that the locking surfaces in the Beretta M9 are essentially exposed.
Yeah.
That's not the greatest idea, and then we also have dirt and debris here in the hammer area. All right, so now I'm going to try and chamber around, and it was hard to do.
That sounds crusty.
All right, it went into battery. Here we go. You ready? 1 round. Failure to feed. We have an issue here. Open this.
Go ahead and switch over to this side. Get it in the light.
See that?
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be a problem. I'm going to lock the slide back, pull the mag. All right, we're going to seat the round mag back in. It was sluggish, but it went in.
The lugs look pretty good now.
Yeah, they're a little weird looking, but let's go ahead and try it. Get on me. Are you ready?
Yep.
1 round. Same kind of feed problem. I'm going to run the action. Got it. 1 round. Didn't feed. Magazine issue again.
Yeah, so there's almost certainly dirt in the magazine between the follower and the body.
Look. That's it. This is what we've been hearing about these mags, and guess what? We just proved it. There's actually rounds stuck in there right now. So it turns out that the complaints we've been hearing about the M9 and these mags are legit. The gun failed really quick in the sand. So we could try it with the mech gar mag, or do you think that it's a failure point no matter what?
I think let's go ahead and try it with the mech gar mag.
All right, so let's cut for a second. Let's load up the mech gar mag again, and let's try it with that. All right, so we now have a MechGar mag. This is no longer the USGI mag. Maybe that will remediate some of it. It is very gross. There's grime and dirt in these open surfaces. The Beretta is not really is not a very closed system at all, really. When you look at this, locking recess is open, barrel to slide clearances are very open. There's a lot of dirt already in the gun. But what we saw was a mag failure. So let's go ahead and shake it slightly. Make sure there's nothing in the barrel. Let's see if we can chamber around. Really hard. Shake it some more. All right. There's a round in there.
Looks like it's in battery.
There we go. 2 rounds. Didn't quite go. All right. That didn't go.
That's a little different.
I can feel that the mag's wrong. Same problems. And we are done. Let's see here. Let's lock it open. Pull the mag out. Look, there's rounds coming loose. See that?
Yep. Ooh, it messed up the magazine release.
Yeah, it did.
Neat.
Got it. Oh, see the sand? Look at.
Yep.
And these are done. Like,
Yep. And that's what you get when you get a bunch of sand in between the follower and the mag body.
yep. So let's go ahead and cut the side and let's have some conclusions.
Okay, so kind of like we saw with the Golani, we have a gun that pretty much works. Mm-hmm. It certainly does allow for ingress of sand, but it also manages to kick it back out without too much trouble. But then we have the core problem being the magazines, both aftermarkets and USGI ones.
Yep. What happened is, so here's my take on this. You know, I think we're going to see some similarities and some differences between mud and dust and sand. This gun has a lot of open spaces to get dirt and debris into. We haven't mud tested this.
That's true.
But the locking surfaces being exposed, the slide to barrel clearance being quite open, and in fact, once we hit it with dust, both times when I went to chamber around, I had to shake the gun. It was locked. When I went to pull the slide, it wasn't going to move. It was like, shook it, no, shook it. Some little rocks and stuff fell out of here, and then it started going. Okay, so I'm going to lock this open for safety reasons, but that right there tells me there's a problem with the design in this environment, in that if your holster, which by the way, a flap holster, everyone hates the UM84, guess what a UM84 would have done well?
Protects it from that.
That wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But once you are exposed to dust and dirt with this particular design, there is a lot of openings here for stuff to get in.
Yeah.
And that's how it ultimately gets into the magazine.
In some ways, we're being unnecessarily or unfairly kind to these guns by stripping them of lubricant.
Yep.
The only reason that you were able to shake the sand out of that thing is because it was dry.
That's true.
If it had been lubed, that sand would have been, every little particulate would have been sticking to the internals of the gun, and it never would have come back into action.
Now, in this instance, on the Galil Golani, we saw there was enough of clearances around the mag well for dirt and dust to get in through the mag. Mm-hmm. This has a nice big floor plate on it. Now, I'm not going to close this because this is a loaded mag, but if I see this, that's sealed.
That's not bad.
I don't think anything's getting in from here. I think in this regard, and oh, by the way, the magazine release was a problem too.
Yep.
I think it's getting in through here.
Okay.
So if this was a more sealed environment, dirt getting into the magazine should have been a less likely scenario.
Maybe. I'm curious if it's even possible to do that, though, because you have to have an opening for an ejection port.
Well, that's true, but I think that if you were to look at something, and someday we will test a Glock as well and much other guns as well, but I think the amount of openings here, especially in this locking recess, is a little bit more dramatic than most designs. So, like when we do a Glock or maybe some other modern guns, we'll see. But you know, we've heard stories, or at least I have, about the M9 failing in dirt, and boy, did we not recreate that today.
Yeah, that honestly doesn't surprise me.
I'm going to call this a failure.
Failure of the magazine more than the gun, though.
Yeah, but if you can't keep the dirt from getting into the magazine, the gun fails.
That's true. We may at some point find a gun that fails as badly as its magazine, though. So I think it's worth maintaining the distinction.
But yeah, I agree the magazine was a major failure, but I want to reiterate one last time, the amount of these clearances here around the barrel and the locking recesses and behind the hammer were problematic too. So, I mean, I could not chamber around without shaking the gun to get the little bits out of here out. And if they were lubed, they might not have come out.
No, they would not have come out. It would have been just...
And this gun would have been down for the count. Yeah. So, guys, hopefully you find this interesting. We do. I do. We have recreated the M9 failure in dusty conditions, so I guess we're finding a truth that was already known. But when we do these tests, sometimes we find out that the supposed truth isn't the truth.
Right.
So, guys, if you like this stuff, this gun, the ammunition was available because of supporters via Patreon. It's you, the viewer, that keep InRange alive. We get no monetization from anywhere, not YouTube Red, nothing. Only you, the viewer. If you can, please consider it. If you already are, thank you. Please subscribe to one of our multiple distribution points. You can find them all on InRange.tv. Thanks.